Hello, it's Anderson, and welcome to the November Community Conversation, the show where I ask you a question that you've already answered. Last month, to celebrate Halloween, I asked you what the best Halloween candy was, and this month, to celebrate Thanksgiving, I asked you, what is the best Thanksgiving dish? A number of you did not understand the assignment on this one. A lot of you put multiple answers, which kind of defeats the point of one being the best if you've given me more than one. Now, some make sense. They're like combinations that naturally go together. Stuffing and gravy was one that came up a few times. Even though I counted stuffing and gravy separate, I understand that thought process. And some like rice and beans, chicken and rice. You know, it'd be like separating macaroni and cheese. It doesn't make sense. It's one cohesive dish. If you prefer stuffing with gravy and you never eat it without gravy, then why separate gravy into its own thing, even though for the sake of the graph, it is its own chart. Chart's not the word I'm looking for. Its own entry. However, there were 4 sticky notes that I have here that have more than 3. Okay, well, one of them has 3. The others have 4 answers on the sticky note. What's up with that? To break things down, I just assumed that the ones that came up first were the ones that they assumed were the best, and I gave them the top 2. But, like, you can't put in 4 votes. That's not how this works. I take voter fraud very seriously. So I was naturally tipped off when I was told to my face that the youth are going to be weaponized to try to sway the vote, which they didn't do. I'm on to you. Anyway, look at the graph. It's nice. Much bigger spread than last time. We do still have a winner, though. Very clear winner. Mac and cheese. This one was actually a bit of a buzzer beater. It was tied with stuffing until, as I was gathering the answers and reading through them, 2 more people showed up, and I just let them tell me their answers, and you're going to have to take my word that it was mac and cheese. And specifically, 3 of those mac and cheese votes specified that the mac should be touching yams. There are still some ones, although instead of being things like 3 Musketeers, there's some pretty interesting answers from people's cultures, like, well, Haitian pasta got 2, but, you know, Haitian pasta, yellow Thai curry, pasteles, spanakopita. There's, like, no other way I could imagine that you pronounce that. That's how it was written on the sticky note. You're all standing alone, but you are standing strong. And you know who's standing alone with them? It's turkey. Good. Now, normally when this conversation comes up, people will come to me and say, it's like, you know, I understand why you don't like turkey, but you just have to have some really good turkey. And then you'll understand. And that's really starting to sound like when I win the lottery. Like, it's just, I don't think that really good turkey truly exists. I think I'll always prefer not turkey, ham. That's the meat of choice that I pick on Thanksgiving. Ham. The sensible choice. But that's my hot take. And clearly, they agree with me. No one put turkey up there. One person did. But, you know, you see that it's on this lower end of the graph compared to all of the other answers. My personal pick was cornbread. My tastes have evolved a lot, especially over the last few years. But the one thing that is a consistent side piece on my plate is cornbread. I always like cornbread. I imagine I always will. Other than that, this is a very nice looking chart. A lot of very interesting answers and a bunch of you who cheated. Or at least you tried to. You're not getting past me. Much nicer of a spread than in Halloween, where everyone said Reese's and then everyone who didn't say Reese's were the only vote for their pick. We had actual battles in this one. You know, some actual debate to be had. You know, because before you couldn't really argue that Reese's wasn't number 1, considering how high it was. But now, maybe mac and cheese, maybe stuffing got stuffed. Who knows? But I imagine that next month might yield similar results to Halloween with how much everyone's experience is different. Although I could see it like this because of how universal movies can be. Because that's all for November. The best Thanksgiving dish is apparently mac and cheese. Which is funny because there were people who were saying that they do not consider mac and cheese a Thanksgiving dish. But evidently, it wins. Next month, for December, it's going to be the holiday season. So I want to ask you, What's the best Christmas or holiday movie? And it could be any movie. It doesn't have to be about the holidays. It could take place during the holidays. It could just be a movie that you always watch during the holidays. One movie. What's the number one movie? The best Christmas or holiday movie that you make a tradition to watch every single year. That's all. Thank you to everyone who put in an answer at the front desk at CCTV. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in 1 month.